Hey, what's going on, Summoners? My name is Nathan Ng, and I'll be walking you guys through this week's weekly news update. There's a lot of great things that have been recently announced, including Riot's newest champion. Whether it's the new Dawn and Nightbringer skins, item changes, crazy reworks, or even the smallest of changes overall, here at ProGuides we've got you covered. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned until the end so you don't miss out on any important updates now and in the future. Starting off our weekly update, we've got to look at all of our amazing new skins that have been announced. If you're familiar with the Dawn and Nightbringer universe, it brings together the duality of darkness and light with some of your favorite champions. Originating from the first massive event of Yasuo vs Riven, then evolving into Garen vs Darius, this universe shows that it has a lot to offer besides the beautiful skin line. That being said, let's start off by talking at the new Dawnbringer skins. If you're a Morgana fan, then you'll be happy to see her in her new Dawnbringer skin. Featuring all new VFX, sound effects, models, textures, and so much more, Morgana is sure to have your enemies staring in awe at your skin while they're rooted for centuries by your Q, because they don't really have a choice. This new Morgana skin will set you back 1350 RP, which for the quality is honestly worth it. If you're not really a big fan of Morgana, then don't worry, Riot's newest champion Vex is going to be released with the Dawnbringer skin. While it may not seem to match the character's persona that well, for 1350 RP, it's still really worth it. Last but certainly not least, we've got Dawnbringer Yone. Unlike our other two Dawnbringers, Yone stole the spotlight with this brand new legendary skin. Boasting a hefty 1820 RP price point, Yone provides players with a new model, new texture, beautiful contrasting visual effects and sound effects, and also don't forget with this legendary tag you'll also have all new voice lines and audio. But before we dive further into our new Nightbringer and PvE changes, don't forget to check us out at ProGuides.com where you can view our great catalog of challenger coaches that can personally create a walkthrough to your dream rank. Got a busy schedule? Then we've got you covered. Our trained roster of coaches are here 24/7 to help you reach your goal, whatever it may be. So what are you waiting for? Check it out. Regardless, let's get back into the video and dive right into the new skin line. Pulling us back into the video, let's take a look at the new Nightbringer skins that are being introduced. Making their appearance in this universe, we've got now Lilia, for some reason, Tryndamere, and Kayn all being added to the line. All three of these skins are being released with a 1350 price tag, and all of them will feature new visual effects and sound effects that we previously mentioned. The biggest standout when it comes to the Nightbringer line is Kayn. Now, while Kayn's skin isn't legendary like Yone's, it's still pretty impressive for one sole reason. That's right, Summoners, Nightbringer Kayn is gonna be Kayn's Prestige Edition variant. For just 2,000 event tokens, this Prestige skin offers a little bit of extra detail in each form, as well as a nice light golden hue across both Ross and Shadow Assassin transformations. Overall, it's an amazing skin, and I'm sure that all Kayn mains will appreciate it. Finally, for our last skin being released, we've got Worlds 2021 Jarvan IV. Sure, the skin isn't a part of the Dawnbringer universe, but overall it's an amazing looking skin that I'm sure a lot of you guys will appreciate. Now that we've covered all of the important skins, let's quickly cover the rest of the content that will be coming with this event. All of the skins that we previously mentioned will be released with multiple chromas, that way you can further customize your champion to better fit your personality. While some of them may have more than others, they offer a vast array of colors that honestly let you change the theme of the skins if you really wanted to. Alongside these chromas, there are going to be multiple new icons, including some skin-specific ones with special variants. Also coming with these are the new Worlds 2021 event, pass, and prestige point icons. Plus, if you're looking to support your favorite team at Worlds, there'll be a ton of new icons featuring their iconic emblems. Oh yeah, and there's also a few adorable icons that you can get for free by watching Worlds. Pulling us off to the end of this massive PvE content load, there are also a ton of new emotes for you to grab. 4 of them will be available for purchase during Worlds, and 3 will be available during the Night and Dawn event. Alongside these, there are multiple emotes that you can get as watch rewards, and you'll be able to pick up a sleek loading emote in order to show your support for your favorite team. As we move on to the next portion of the video, let's take a look at how the community has been feeling about Vex. The champion has struck a lot of players as being fairly unbalanced at first glance. An anti-dash, long-range, high-damage burst mage didn't really give many players that much hope. That being said, with the new gameplay and her actual numbers being released, it seems like the community's opinion has shifted quite a little bit. Not only are people enjoying how fun her kit is, but it seems like everybody's in agreement that they're finally happy to have a champion that has a relatively basic kit again. With champions like Akshan being released, it can often be difficult for players to pick up champions, especially when they're extremely mechanically difficult. Vex seems to have a sweet spot as she relatively has a basic kit that overall still allows for great outplay and style potential. As for her actual balancing, a lot of people seem to feel like she's in a pretty good spot. While she does seem insane at times due to her high CC and range, overall everybody's enjoying her amount of damage and utility so far. That being said, what is worrying is that she seems like an incredibly difficult champion to balance. So if she ends up being on the stronger side than right as expected, there may be a few problems when it comes to adjusting her kit for the better. Regardless, it's great to see a champion release that isn't flooded with negative words and overall has a nice response from the community, even if it's only a small section. Before we continue on with the video, don't think for a second that we have forgotten about everybody's favorite ProGuides tradition. For our question of the day, we want to know, What's one ability or mechanic that you'd like to see in a new champion? Personally, I think it'd be pretty cool to have a mechanic where there's an offensive champion like Yumi that instead of buffing allies, they debuff enemies. Maybe that's a really bad idea. I actually hate going against Yumi, so what am I even saying? Anyway, let us know your answer in the comments down below. Nonetheless, let's get back into the video. Pulling us back into the video, we've got some pretty exciting news for CAITLYN players. With the release of the dev video for TFT, it seems that CAITLYN has a whole new visual model and a new animation in the TFT set. Alongside this, it was announced that CAITLYN is going to be added into Wild Rift. Putting these two together, it's safe to assume that at some time in the near future, CAITLYN will be getting a nice visual update that will clean up her model and maybe even add some flair to her new animations. Speaking of new leaked things, there's a new Kai'Sa skin that seems to have been uncovered. While there aren't many big details on it yet, an emote showing off Kai'Sa with a new skin called Dragonmancer was found in the code for the game. For all of our Kai'Sa mains out there, hopefully this means that she'll be finally getting a new skin that doesn't involve the intensive K-pop and glamour, and maybe one that just goes back closer towards her roots. Now then, let's quickly dive into a few pretty big esport announcements. Starting us off, it seems that G2 is looking and willing to replace anybody on their current roster beside Caps. This means that they're essentially looking to rebuild the team from the ground up, with Caps as the central piece. It's also rumored that Broken Blade will be their new top lane, but nothing has been confirmed as of yet. Whether or not this is a good idea, no one can really be certain. It'll be interesting to see how everything works out with G2 in the following months. Up next, we've got the world champion Dawnbringer, who has made a pretty massive claim that this year's world champion will be far better than last year. He says that the reason he feels this is that all the teams are not only powerful contenders, but that they're ferocious and passionate about their play. Honestly, it may not be much, but it definitely has me hyped up for Worlds this year. Speaking of which, there is a ton of new information regarding Worlds. The championship is going to be held in Iceland this year, and the play-in stage will be on October 5th, with the finals being on November 6th. As for the Worlds format, it's going to be composed of the classic 3 stages, including play-ins, groups, and then knockouts, with the knockout stage being quarterfinals, semifinals, and then finals. Finally, there are quite a few roster rules that are going to be changed from last year's Worlds due to COVID-19 and its implications. In order to deal with some players not being approved to travel for Worlds, Riot is introducing a temporary loan program that will allow teams to borrow a player from another team in their league who received a visa for Worlds but didn't end up qualifying. There's a few people that have issues with this, as there could possibly be strategic foul play. But overall, its purpose is to help teams with issues that are beyond their control. Before we continue on, if you want to join an amazing community of people like you that loves lists, talk pieces, and other things like this, check out our Discord using the link found in the description. So, what are you waiting for? Join! Anyway, let's get back into the video and talk about an issue that continues to plague the lower ranks within the League community. If you haven't been following our updates for a while now, you'll know that a few months ago there were a ton of complaints about massive amounts of bots being spotted in low elo. If you weren't aware, there are quite a few bots that are interlocking random champions and borderline inting in order to demote and then drop the ranked MMR. The purpose isn't inherently clear, but it seems like these accounts are looking to provide extremely low elo accounts for those willing to buy them. The issue with this is that there are quite a few bots running around, even though Riot seemingly had dealt with them. The big issue with these bots is that of course they waste your time as they force a remake or a loss. Now the solution would be simply to dodge the bot and go on with your day. However, with the recent adjustments to dodging that Riot has made, it's almost impossible for low elo players to deal with the bad lobbies and possible inting bots. Thankfully, there aren't as many bots being spotted like they were previously, but it's still overall a pretty bad experience, and we hope that Riot can find a permanent solution. Before we close out the video, to make sure that you're all informed on your next solo queue match, let's quickly do a patch rundown. Draven had a pretty powerful buff that would have his ultimate execute enemies if their HP is below Draven's current adoration stacks. As for Lilia, she got a small adjustment in the jungle that will help her clear a little bit better and give her additional healing and allowing her Q stacks to fall off slower. Right in time for the skin. Huh, nice, Riot. Next up, we've got Renekton, who got a pretty hefty nerf to his stun, with his empowered stun duration being reduced from 1.5 seconds to 1 second. Next, we've got Qiyana with a ton of new changes, and one of these changes includes that her E is being nerfed by 10 damage per level alongside her Q, which will now deal 25% damage against monsters. Plus, her Q will no longer completely track champions if she E's first, and will instead be aimed at their last position. Last but certainly not least, we've got a massive Talia buff that reduces her worked ground radius by 150 units and also cuts its duration from 45 seconds to 25 seconds. Alongside this, using Q on the worked ground will now refund 50% of the spell's cooldown. This is a massive buff for Talia in the lane, but it shouldn't have that much impact in the jungle. And that sums up our video for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to join our ProGuides family at ProGuides.com. We offer exclusive giveaways and classes that you won't catch anywhere else, so stay tuned and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next video, and don't forget, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a wonderful day. Peace.